All right, I just want to say hello, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
You've got a very nice space here, as usual. I'm really impressed with your decor and the work that you've brought to the D.C. area. And you have a featured artist here tonight that I found very interesting.
Yeah, his name is J. Scott Nickel.
Mm-hmm.
He paints book spines. It's been incredibly successful. He's actually painted 17 different paintings, and of the 17, he sold 21. He's actually commissioned more paintings than he sold. And coming out of this winter, we haven't had too many other artists anywhere near that. He's working on one right now called Words That Change a Nation. He not only paints and creates the paintings, but he creates the books. Words That Change a Nation by J. Scott Nickel. And then you've got Lincoln and All Men Are Created Equal, and Obama, Yes We Can. And then he does thematic books. So he'll do 1969, 1970, 59, and the 70s. So he's doing years or decades. He does pop art. He does literature. He does sailing. There's Life Without Boundaries. It's Brando and James Dean. And right now, this is actually, somebody came in and asked us, they said, I love both Lincoln and Obama, and Scott created this piece for him. Obviously, he's about 3/4 finished right now. Lincoln's done, and we're rounding up Obama right now, and then when he finishes that, he'll go in with the lettering.
All right, I just want to say I'm glad to see you in action here.
Oh, thanks very much.
This is looks remarkably like the man.
Oh, well, thanks.
I hope he feels the same way.
Appreciate that.
Obviously, you have a fine hand for detail and facial proportions and so on. Have you ever done any self-portraits?
Actually, at college, I did. You
Mm-hmm.
know, as a one of the class projects was to do a self-portrait. So of course, yeah, I did that. I went to Rutgers University many years ago, but right now I'm doing the book spines, and as you mentioned, this was a commission painting. Someone wanted both Lincoln and Obama on a painting, so I created the books, chose Lincoln's famous speech, Gettysburg Address, and his classic words, all men are created equal, and then President Obama's acceptance speech at the Democratic National Convention, where he uttered the very famous speech and also key words, yes we can. So those are the two bases of the thing. I paint in oils on canvas.
And so this is your oil layout for...
Yeah, but I paint at Discovery Gallery on Saturdays, and so I'll pre-mix colors to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, there's my palette. These are the colors that I primarily use, that I mix to create the various hues for the flesh tones in the background, and then I just paint away.
Yeah, and you know, having taken some painting courses myself, I remember my teacher telling me that the skin is a mixture of colors.
Yes.
Right? And so you have to know how to balance them out.
Right. Yeah. There's oranges and blues. I mean, you think it's just flesh, but it's really, lots of different colors. There's blue in the shadow areas and oranges in the highlights areas. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to do.
Well, I'm impressed, and I know it takes a lot of work to pull this together. And now, if you make a mistake, is it possible to cover it up? I mean, do you just kind of add layers?
I work in really primarily one layer. So if I make a mistake, I will use turpentine to take that out.
Okay.
Now later on, if I look at something after it's dry, if I need to touch it up, then I can absolutely paint right over the top.
Okay. Well, I've seen you've been quite busy, and quite a collection of things. And are these available in posters as well as originals?
Well, we have originals. These are limited edition Giglet prints.
Okay. And you can
signed.
sign those, right?
Right. So they're numbered and signed, various sizes. They're all on canvas, and there's some on paper.
Okay. All right. Well, quite a collection, and I'll bet you're open to doing custom work if
So we
someone
do commissions,
suggestions.
like this one is.
Yeah. Well, just replace the face with another person, and maybe...
Well, no. The person comes in, like for instance, someone decided that they would like a painting based on Art Deco. So I researched everything I could about Art Deco. And picked 8 books, or actually made up 8 books that has not only architecture but art and jewelry, all Art Deco, and created the book spines for that.
Okay. So a lot of thought goes into this.
A lot of research. Yes.
And you really want to make it as authentic as possible.
Absolutely.
So that makes you a bit of a historian on top of everything, right?
Well, that's the fun part is researching this and learning. Learning all the different aspects of whatever the requirement is. Some of my paintings are, like this one's based on 1969. Each one of those books I made up, but each one of those are events that happened in 1969.
Okay. So this isn't a real book. This Easy Rider, which
That's
we
from
remember
the
is a movie.
right. So that Easy Rider's from the poster. That's a Joe Namath who promised to win the Super Bowl that year and did.
It sure did, yeah.
That's the landing on the moon. Same year Woodstock happened. So it's fun to research it, create. So it's not just the painting part, which is interesting enough to do, but it's the research, the creating, making up all these books, then photographing it, then replicating it in oil.
Oh, yeah, and then hanging it. Right? Right, because you got to find the right space, and you probably have some color coordination to do with interior designers sometimes.
Well, that's what the gallery owner does, too.
There you go. That's the gentleman right there.
Yeah,
and make sure that gets done properly, right? Okay. Well, Discovery 2 Gallery is really one of the centerpieces of downtown Bethesda, and it has been for many years, and certainly have a wide variety. And you're one of the sort of living artists that's working here, right?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So we can see you on the weekends?
Usually on Saturdays I'm here painting.
Okay, good. Well, J. Scott Nickel.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And then I know you have a website, so we don't even have to ask you about that.
Okay.
Right? But you can come here, and we can see his work, and it looks fabulous, and I want to thank you for sharing your information with us. Good craftsmanship, and thank you, Mr. Obama.
Thank you.
All right. All right. That's what I call a promotion.